Chris, do you know what my scarf, the ID.Buzz, and my coffee cup have in common?
Well, they're green.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
we're looking at light mint Galapagos green here. We have a nice fresh mint unicorn green, and of course, bay leaf green on the car.
Yes, seems like you know your stuff. What I actually meant was green in the context of sustainability, because this is what our today's episode is all about. We're having a look at green, so sustainable materials and eco-friendly fabrics in the ID.Buzz.
Exactly, and that also includes recycling and planning, which applies to the entire ID family.
Yeah, and it has a lot to do with this coffee cup.
Sustainability is one of the big topics when it comes to electric mobility, and the ID.Buzz is leading by example. You know, I learned that the VW logo in the steering wheel is not chrome-plated.
So what it is made of?
Instead, they used organically based components, which reduces stress on the environment.
So there are a lot of sustainable materials inside, which you can touch and feel, but others are hidden. And today we try to uncover everything about the sustainable material world, and therefore we meet Diana. She's a designer.
Hi, nice to meet you, Sarah and Chris.
The ID.Buzz, actually, I guess it's your ID.Buzz, right?
Yes, exactly. Not my own ID.Buzz, but my team and I, we felt so much in love while we were working on it.
Well, you actually see that on the outside and the inside. The upholstery and the outside color paint match perfectly.
Bay leaf green thing, yeah.
Wonderful.
Thanks a lot. But our main focus was definitely the sustainability, and we put some really cool stuff into the car. Let me show you.
Okay.
The headlining material there is 100% recycled PET. Also the floor mats and the carpet. And we improved our leather substitution by using only organically based softening agents. Next very important topic, in the textile we use around about 700 grams of Seaqual yarn.
Sounds great, but what is Seaqual?
Yeah, Seaqual is exactly processed plastic directly from the ocean. I have a big surprise in the trunk.
I'll open that.
Right. What is this?
Yeah, this is the surprise. 63 500 milliliter recycled bottles are in the materials in the ID.Buzz.
Look at that. I thought you were bringing the bottles back for a refund.
So, new business idea.
Yes.
In a nutshell, let's say a flagship, an eco-flagship for Volkswagen, right?
The topic of sustainability, it's a brand strategy.
Yeah, speaking of strategy, it's a good one because according to several current studies, sustainability has become a crucial point when it comes to buying a car. So this is really a good point.
And we talked with our customers, and this is a very important topic, and they want sustainability.
How do you come up with fabrics and how do you bring it into mass production?
Yeah, I would love to answer, but it's a topic for my colleague Martina Gottschling, and I think she has the right answers for you.
All right, well, let's
there.
find out.
Okay.
Martina.
Hi.
Hi, Chris and Sarah, nice you?
Yes.
Yeah, hi.
Nice to meet you.
Wow, so this is the secret world of the sustainable materials, right?
Yes, part of it, but I can show you more.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow, this is cool. So you decide, Martina, which materials will make it into future cars, right?
Ideally, I can contribute, yes. I research on various ways to design vehicle interior.
Since we're here in Future Lab, we're talking about the future. Can you give us a glimpse of it? Maybe what are you currently working on?
I work on upholstery materials, and one interesting part of it is the coffee bean.
The coffee bean. What do you mean? Like the coffee we need in the morning?
Exactly, that coffee bean. You can call it the next step after recycling. On the long term, we try to avoid use of plastic and reduce it instead with regenerative material, meaning sustainable raw materials.
So wait, Did I get it right? I mean, my future car will smell like coffee, like, hey, an ID.Buzz flavored with cappuccino for takeaway, please.
I love that.
Me too.
Me too, but no, there will be no smell. We work with the material as a filler, so it doesn't smell any longer. And you can see it, for example, here. These are the so-called silver skins, and we are working with these filler in the artificial leather.
Another interesting term, silver skin. So this is what is left over from the coffee bean, so to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the moment, there is no use for that material. So it helps the environment if we have an application for it. There is plenty of that material, so we have enough for the production.
Yeah, otherwise, I guess we can help out drinking more coffee.
No problem.
Is there any other material that is as promising as silver skin?
Very big on my radar is cellulose at the moment. It's a natural material and it grows very fast, and you can make a lot of material types out of it. It grows in the lab, and that gives me some possibilities to influence the quality.
This is cellulose.
That is cellulose as a soft material.
When are you going to start using this, though?
It's still basic research, but we are on track.
Do you also do research on how to reuse your materials?
Oh, good question, especially when it comes to batteries. I know they contain so much valuable raw materials, right?
We do research on that, and I have a colleague and he knows everything about it. It's Chris Gardnish from the Salzgitter battery factory.
Another Chris, of course.
Yes,
Let's go.
promising.
Okay. Hi Chris.
Hi Martina, what a nice surprise.
I have Sarah and Chris here with me, and they are interested in recycling.
I guess you're talking about batteries, right?
Exactly. Lithium, cobalt, manganese. I mean, you can't just throw a battery away, you have to extract those, right?
That's true. However, currently most batteries are simply incinerated, and while nickel and cobalt is recycled, other valuable materials like lithium are currently lost or used only in inferior applications.
That doesn't sound very sustainable, though.
It isn't. However, these processes were simply not made for the battery systems we see today. This is why we in Salzgitter are working on new technologies to make sure that we recycle at least 90% of an old battery to reintroduce the material in further batteries. It starts simple, discharging and dismantling. With that, we can already recover material like the aluminum housing, the copper cables, or the electronic parts of the steering units, which contain all very valuable material for us.
See, like I said before.
Smartness.
After that, it gets a little bit more complicated because we're turning to the inner workings of a battery. We shred the modules from the systems, and this results in a moist mix of materials because the liquid electrolyte gets out of the cells. This is why in the following we have different drying and sieving steps to get to the mix of materials that contains graphite, nickel, lithium, cobalt and manganese, for example. We call it the black powder.
I was super bad at chemistry in school, so is black powder like gunpowder?
No, it's just black powder. And with that black powder, we are working together with partners, for example, from universities, research institutes, or partners from the chemical industry, who can further recycle the material, recover nickel, cobalt, lithium, etc., so we can use it again in our next battery generation.
Are there any disadvantages? Like, let's say, an old dishwasher compared to a new one, the old one won't clean as well as the new one, right?
No, not at all. It's really not a downcycling. We expect no quality losses from material coming from secondary sources compared to first life batteries.
Well, thank you very much for the insights, and take good care, Chris. Thank you.
No problem. Have a nice day.
And thank you also, Martina.
See, this is why I'm such an ID.Buzz addict. Today, though, I saw it from a whole new perspective.
I did too. I didn't even know they had animal-free materials. Super cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think I wouldn't miss leather. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know that you have such a strong connection to this material, but what I also found very cool was that the plastic bottles were so comfortable, and we now really solved the driving question, what happens to the batteries?
Absolutely. And I'm sure we'll see more organic materials in car interiors in the long run. All in all, I think we did a great job.
Yeah.
We're ahead of schedule, so enough time to go for another coffee in one of them wonderful fresh mint Galapagos green cups.
Yeah,
Don't you
or we
agree?
just can talk about shapes this time. I mean, if you see a button down there below the video that looks like a thumbs up, you can just press it.
Oh, you mean the Liquid Love Orbit Gray Spray
Enough
Sparkle?
of the colors, just press that button, and if you see the bell button, you can also press this one.
Hope to see you again next time.
All right, bye.
Volkswagen.